Hi everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Welcome you all to this podcast on this Mother's Day. It's about relationships. We're talking about how to build our relationships, which is the secret weapon to how you are going to maintain a relationship is to have strong boundaries. So let's start because this is so interesting. Have you ever felt somebody around you or everyone around you is just sucking your energy? They're just pulling everything out of you. And you like feel like I've never had a moment to myself. Why can't I just be myself, be by myself? So today we are going to talk about how to draw these invisible lines or what we call as boundaries. So we can have this clear distinction as we move forward in our relationships. Now you may think, oh, isn't that kind of cold and selfish? Actually, healthy boundaries are absolutely essential for any strong relationship because they allow us to feel respected, valued, and of course, less stressed. Everybody wants less stress. So, boundaries are hard. So, if friends will keep asking, can you just babysit, just for free? You're free, right? You're not doing anything. Can you just 2 hours? Can you just watch my baby? Or your mom might call you like 10 times a day. Can you just run a small errand? And that errand will be like way out of the way you have to go and to get your things done. How do you draw this boundary? How do you say no without feeling guilty? Right? So, why boundaries are important? To understand how to set a boundary, we have to understand why boundaries are important. Boundaries are important because it's like a personal force field. It's like you have your force field around you and it protects your time, energy, and from all this emotional turmoil. It gives you emotional well-being. All these are absolutely important for you. It's important for anyone. So when you build these boundaries, it immediately, automatically reduces stress, which means you're going to say no to things that drain you. You feel comfortable saying, you know what, this is not on my to-do list for now, but I'll let you know if that changes. I mean, if you want to be polite to somebody, if you really like pretty much your cup is really full, you're going to say, no, thank you, I don't have the space, right? And it also leads you to have a very open communication. When you reduce your stress, you can say yes to things that matter to you and not worry about the things that you actually should be saying no to, right? And then stronger relationships. It, when you create respectful boundaries, it creates a foundation for trust and mutual understanding, which means you've already said no to the things that drain you. You're not double, triple, quadruple scheduling yourself, and you're more open to things that really matter to you. So when you tell somebody you will be there, most likely you will be there. So, how do you set boundaries like a boss without feeling guilty? Right? That's the whole purpose. Purpose of us meeting today is to understand how we're going to set these boundaries without us feeling guilty and also with with grace and dignity, right? So that's why we are here for. So first thing you have to do is take a piece of paper and honestly write your schedule. What time do you go to sleep? What time do you wake up? What is it that you have to do every day? Maybe you have a 9 to 5 job, or maybe you have a child with special needs, or maybe you are a caregiver for somebody. Write down what is it that is absolutely non-negotiable in the time that you will be awake. And then you see how much time you need to unwind yourself. And then you see when you're crossing the line, when you make commitments. So that's the first tip. Know your limits, right? Second tip is, when you're telling somebody, when you're turning down something from somebody, say I. Use an I statement. Own it. Don't say, we think, maybe this. No. It is I. I don't have time. Or I feel overwhelmed. Please don't call me this often. I feel overwhelmed. Can we just limit this to one time a day? Can you make a list and give it to me? So I will decide the best way to tackle this. I'll get it done for you. I'm not saying I won't do it, but I will get it done in the best way that works for both of us. That would be a clear line of communication. The third tip is, or the third step is, to be really, really kind but very firm. How do you say that? You say, you know what? I'm very sorry. I am truly sorry. I cannot help you in this because I'm already overstretched. I have these online resources, or I know this friend who's running a course on this, or who knows other people who can help you. But that's not me. Sorry. No. Right? Just saying no. And also understand the consequences. What will be the consequence when these boundaries are breached? It should not be like, oh, you breached this one time. Oh, it's okay. Don't do it again. Oh, you understand this is important, right? And then they'll say, yes, 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 I completely understand. The next minute, they'll go and do that again. Because they did not understand that there was a consequence to this. So, what kind of consequence you could have? It depends, right? If it's a young child you're trying to teach it, then you would say, for the next 1 hour, we are not going to call each other. We are just going to wait it out. That 1 hour we are going to wait it out. If it's your mom who's calling you 25 times a day, you're going to tell her, Mom, for the next 4 hours, I'm going to be busy. You're not going to call me unless there is an emergency. So, whatever kind of boundary you want to set, whatever kind of consequences you want to set, be bold, own it up, tell it to people so they don't feel like, oh, I was never told about this consequence. The next one is self-care. You might make a list of 400 things to do, but you must always prioritize activities that will recharge you, that will give you strength, that will also help you enforce boundaries. Because if we are not clear about all these things, we will have no boundaries, we will have no energy, we will just be living with energy vampires who will suck our energy out. So now you have a question. How do I deal with family? Okay, I can do this with all my colleagues, all my clients, but how do I deal with family members who constantly criticizes my life choices? They're always up. Anytime I meet them, they always have to complain about my life choices. They always have to say something that is negative about me or my life choice or the way I look or the way I do things or whatever, right? First thing you should do is, when you are faced with consistent negativity, limit your contact with them. Just take a break. If you're able to move away physically, move away. If not, you need to buy some earphones or something so you can make sure that you're not intaking it. Second thing is, of course, always change the subject. Whenever possible, change the subject. And when they start criticizing, try to change the conversation. Oh, did you read about this in the news? Oh, I was listening to the radio on the way here and I heard this on the news. What is your take on that? Or, oh, I saw this post on Facebook about your friend. Do you know this happened? Did you go and visit her? Or, oh, did you hear that this team is coming to, we have this new band coming here, or this new mall is opened, or whatever interests them. Use that to drive the conversation away from you, the attention of the conversation away from you. But most important, it's ultimately not about them. It's always about you. Learn how to focus on yourself. Find that peace by mindfulness meditation, or you can join our online Gita meditation class. You can join our other free classes where we teach you how to center yourself. When you center yourself, you do not become reactionary. You become more reflective. You become listener. You listen to what they're trying to say. When you listen to what they're trying to say, you begin to understand what their blockages are, what their concerns are, and then you begin to say, okay, now I know how to speak into the listening of this person. Think about it. Because 90% of the time we complain that others are not listening to us. The same could be true of us. We may not be listening to them too. They may feel that, oh, these people, she's never listening to me. Or he's always interrupting me. I don't think he listens to anything I say. Being in that space of awareness, absolutely important for us. Why? Because it takes away 90% of the stress. We understand the context completely. We understand their fear. We understand their concerns. And we are able to calmly address those. So, this week's challenge for you is to identify one situation where you need to set a boundary. Practice using that I statement technique that I just mentioned. And remember, boundaries are a form of self-care. Boundaries are not about being selfish. They're about being strong and healthy. So go on and set these boundaries like a mindful boss. Join us next week for another dose of these wonderful mindfulness-based techniques, and that will help you to navigate all your life challenges with grace and peace. Please subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our channel, share this with people, because setting boundaries is absolutely important for women. We have to teach our children from a young age how to respect these boundaries. And in doing so, we will find that we have a lot of space in our mind, in our heart, in our time to do what we want to do. We don't feel drained. We will have energy to do things. This is the best gift mothers can give, not only to themselves, but also to the children. Once again, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Please like, share, comment, and let us know what you want the next podcast to be about. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next week.